Hi, it's Adele Michael, and welcome to the first Money Mindset Monday for the year of 2021. So glad you're here. And I'm going to be reading from the Voyager Tarot deck, which was created by Dr. James Wanless. And James still does readings. If you want to look him up on the web, he offers readings and classes if you're interested in learning how to read this as well. And I want to remind you that our overarching energy for our money for this whole year is love, Three of Cups. And three is the Empress. She's very fertile. She's very giving. She channels the earth abundance through herself, through her body. And this is her emotional state. So love, so giving and receiving. And I just think that's a wonderful reminder for us for the whole year. It's like, what are we willing to give and what are we willing to receive? And would we like to apply that to our money? So here we go for our first card of the year. It's a big one. We had it last month. Death. Now, if you're like a lot of people, you really don't like this card. It's scary, it's dark, it's the Scorpio card. So Scorpio is a very deep and profound astrological sign. If you are a Scorpio sun sign or have Scorpio in your chart, you're probably pretty intense. You can also be very lovely. My nieces and my great niece are both Scorpios, and they are lovely, lovely young women. But they do have an intensity about themselves. So in the Christian tradition, this is the Easter card. It brings the promise of rebirth after a death. And it also is the law of impermanence. So in 2020 and probably more in this year, we're going to see old structures crumble, the old order be released, and so it makes room for new things to come. And it's not always pretty. If you've ever given birth, which I have not, but I do understand that birth can be very messy. And I think any creature that gives birth to another creature stands at the edge of death during that birth process. So it's a very natural thing. It's part of the natural order that we as human beings who kind of like to be in control of things don't often feel really warm and cuddly about, shall we say it that way. But what death does is it brings about a life-changing transformation. And so how could we talk about that with your money? What would be a life-changing transformation for you with your money? Could it be something that happens in the external world? Well, we know that what is the precursor to the external world what's happening on the internal world. So is there something that needs to die? Is there something that needs to be shed? Is there something that needs to be freed up in your relationship with money? And if we bring in the 2021 card of love, where might there be more room for self-love, for love of abundance and money? I don't believe that the love of money is the root of all evil. I believe that greed and hard-heartedness leads to a lot of damage. But we're talking about love. We're talking about opening your heart and giving and receiving. And for many women, giving is a really strong muscle. We are automatic givers. That's our default mode. And receiving is not our default mode. But in order to maintain balance, we have to be able to do both. So where in your money life would you be willing to receive more? Now, I've talked about this before, but I want to remind you that the frequency of prosperity is the number 8, And so if you look at the figure 8 and you turn it on your side, it's the infinity sign, right? So giving and receiving, giving and receiving, giving and receiving. If you take away one part of that the 8, you just get a 0. So look and see where you can start giving and receiving, giving and receiving, giving and receiving. And I'm repeating that because we need to hear it more than once. So I hope you have a good week. I hope you're having a good start to your 2021. Don't be scared of this card. It portends good things to come. And I will be reading another card for you next Monday, and I hope you'll join me. Thanks for coming today.